Hey cousins, my name is KMo and I'm the founder of Black Girls of Texas. And this is a conversation about cultivating healthy friendships. Black Girls of Texas is an organization that was founded in Texas in 2018, and it is a community of sisterhood, networking, and connections. A lot of people look at me as the connector, but I'm really connected in this city. So here I have with me Felicia Turner of the Brownstone Experience, Theanie Shannon with Dating in Dallas, and Mama Mary, but her name is MJ Harper. I call her Mama Mary, and she does all the things, Inspiring Women's Gala, and just a lot of wonderful things in the city. So I had them come here today. Oh, and we're missing Tiffany Walker and Crystal and Sean, but I'll say something about them later. They don't even know why they're here, so that's why they're just looking and smiling. But I brought them here today because I wanted to have a conversation about friendships and how each one of them has impacted me in my life, and I'm already about to cry. So how each one of them has impacted me. So I have this community, Black Girls of Texas, where I met each one of them in. First, I guess I'll start with Felicia. Sorry, since she's sitting right here. Your card is right here. Mm-hmm. Since she's sitting right here. So I really feel like Black Girls of Texas is an assignment for me, but it definitely was God ordained. So what a lot of people don't know about me is that I did not grow up seeing healthy friendships between women. My mom has a lot of sisters, but I didn't grow up seeing them really connected like I feel women should be. And so it was never really a big thing for me. It was never a, sisterhood and, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. And of course, through life you learn more about your mom. My mom is my best friend. Mic check. Let me phrase that. But of course, when you're growing up, your mom is still healing and she's trying to heal while she has children. And so I understand that now. And so, we've been through our, ebbs and flows, but that's what kind of shaped my thinking about relationships with women. I didn't think it was important. I'm just like, whatever, I'm a daddy's girl, so kick it with the fellas. But when I started Black Girls of Texas and I started seeing, women be connected, women want to be around each other, just longing for that friendship, it started to heal something inside of me, which made me want to, learn more about my mom, connect more with my aunts, and just hear their stories. Because when you're young, you don't really know much about them. Yeah. You just know that my mama, auntie, we kicking it, Thanksgiving, Christmas. But, things happen and people feel away, and so people drift off. And so I'm really close to my Aunt Felicia, and I appreciate her because she really helped me to understand a lot about my mom, which made me want to start the conversation. And so when Black Girls of Texas came about, it took a couple years, but I started to meet a lot of wonderful people, a lot of wonderful ladies, but I was still a little closed off to really developing those friendships. And then I met Theanie. And so I met Theanie at, what event was that?
Bun Ministry.
The Bun Ministry, the first one. And so Theanie is the voice behind that viral video of the news anchor who went viral. Theanie did that video.
Okay, your traffic girl could never. Look at her. Baby, that is Black girl magic.
Where she talked about her clothes and her hair, about her just being a Black woman and uplifting her, and it just blew up. And so I went to the event. I was invited. I met Theanie, and I didn't even really know her. She just walked up to me and she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be cool. We need to get connected. You're gonna be my sister." And I was like, "Who is this lady?" I'll take a picture with you, but who is she? So I met her, and then ever since then, we had just been really locked in, and she just treated me like her little sister, something that I had just never experienced, because I'm an older sister. And so I have an older brother, so I never experienced, somebody wanted to check on you. I'm like, why is she calling me all the time and texting me, and she want to connect? I don't understand, because, I have my childhood friends, but, these friends who I have met out here. And then she was like, oh, I know you, like you do like the Black Girls of Texas, I want to know more about it. And just ever since then, like we just been like really locked in. And I think I was just like, wow, like okay, I guess I'll just accept it. And so Theony really like pours into me. What I admire about Theony is that she is a go-getter. Like no matter what, she perseveres. She has Dating in Dallas. She is consistent with it every Tuesday. What she say? 8, 7, 9 Central, right here on Dating in Dallas. I'll be listening because she's so consistent with it. And the topics are, I really feel that something is needed, especially in our community. But what I admire is the consistency. Even when you don't feel like the needle is moving, the needle is pushing, it's just like, keep going. We have these conversations all the time. We be on the phone 3 hours just talking about our dreams, our aspirations, and things we want to do. And sometimes she'll feel like, I'm gonna keep doing it. But you know, you can kind of hear it sometimes, like, I don't know, I'm gonna just keep going. I'm like, you just gotta keep going, keep showing up. And that's what I admire about Theony. She just keeps showing up. And so now she DDMC, and she done got a new name. I looked up on Instagram. She's getting booked for she getting booked for MCs and hosting. And I was like, look at you go. Like, I am very proud because that's what showing up does. And so, she doesn't know, that helps me show up because sometimes I get tired, okay? I get really tired. And so what I appreciate about her is that, you know, even if she's not feeling it, she's still going to encourage you to just keep going and not give up. And so I wanted to give you your flowers for that because you really do. You're welcome. You really do inspire me to just keep showing up, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it, even when you have to pivot and do other things. You know, it's just you always show up. And so I'm very proud of you for that. And you are inspiring so many people that you don't even know, and it's good to hear it. And so that's why I wanted to do this today, because that is helping me cultivate a healthy friendship. And even our personal conversations, when we talk about deep stuff, it just really does something for me. So I appreciate you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Girl, oh,
and then there's Felicia. I said I was gonna start with her, but it kind of just, we did a little pivot. So Felicia, I met actually through Black Girls of Texas, and I'm not exactly sure the first time I saw you or met you, but I know you reached out and she was doing like cover models, and so she reached out to me and she was like, oh, I was wondering if you'd be interested in being a cover model for my magazine. I said, yo, what? I'm thinking, me? You want me to come and do that? Okay, cool. But what she didn't even know is that's something that I had always been wanting to do. Not exactly cover model, but take pictures. Because I love photography. I love taking pictures. I love getting dressed up. I love doing things like that. But it was just like, I don't really know the avenue of how to get started with that. And so it was a wonderful experience, I might add. Like, just, I didn't even have to do nothing, just show up. That was great. Thank you. But it was a great experience, but it also like shifted my mindset into how strangers can see things in you and want to be connected with you. And so that's when we started having conversations, and we'd be talking. And what I like about Felicia, she's just very straightforward. Me, I'll be all over the place, and she's just like, I hear what you're saying, but X, Y, Z, da, da, da. And I was like, I like her. Like, you know, she's like, we were having a conversation about something, and I was like, you literally are like my calm voice. Like, when I call her, I'll be like, and this, and this, and this, and this, and she's just always bring it back with straightforwardness and love. And so I was like, I need a mentor. I didn't tell her this, and this is how God works. I was like, I need a mentor, and I would love Felicia to like be my mentor. And then one day we were having that conversation, and you was like, I think you need a mentor, and I think I need to be there. And I said, you know what, I was thinking that. And so just watching your perseverance, that is what stood out to me when you had your, you know, the digital magazine cover, which really changed a lot in my life, because me doing that opened up a lot of opportunities for people wanting to reach out to me and do things and collaborate. Because I guess, girl, they thought I was somebody. I said, I'm on the digital magazine cover, Brownstone Experience, period. Felicia Turner, yeah, she's the editor-in-chief. Y'all always mess with her about that. But that really
I'm on assignment.
did, she's on the stage. It really did something to me and for me.
Yeah.
It did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, I look like all of this, but self-sabotage, and I don't have it all together like people think.
Yeah.
And so for people to see something in me that I feel but don't really see in myself, you can tell people all day long, but I had to see it. And so doing that with you, and then us getting connected after that, and you wanting to stay in contact with me, that really started to shift my mind about women.
Yeah. That's real.
All the tears.
Because you didn't even know me, for real. But you knew that somebody I want to be connected to, I need to be connected to. And you were persistent with staying connected with me. And so I just felt more than just like the cover shoot, and more than just us talking about what we want to do.
Yeah.
I really felt like, I could talk to you. We can have conversations, and you're a mompreneur, and so we can't always talk. I've been messing with her, sending her messages. Oh, you just forgot about me, and
Meet me at the park.
yeah, it's just, but you're intentional about making time, and just making sure I'm good, even if we just send a little funny text or just on social media. And that I feel, after I met Thinny and then after I met you, I think that's where like the healing began. When you did the Phenomenal One conference and all that, I felt like a shift in me. Because I would see it in my community, in the community of Black girls of Texas, but when it's personal to your life, I'm like, okay, there's some people out here that want to rock with me. So that was that. But what I appreciate about you from watching you is, no matter what, you just have this same aura about you, this go-getter spirit, this perseverance, and just not giving up, even if you have to take a break. And that's what you taught me too. Take a break, relax sometimes, sit down and reflect. And thank you. And don't let all of the hustle and bustle take you away from what you assigned to. Because I know a lot of times we have those conversations to where we would think that, I got to be doing this, and this is what I see. And we're very transparent in our conversations and like the trends, and maybe I feel like I should be doing this and doing that. And it's just like, no, I feel like we ground each other when we have those conversations, because we be thinking the same thing. Yeah. And I'll be like, I'm over here doing too much. I'm trying to do this and that, and I just need to stay grounded in my why. And so I feel that's what you do for me when we have our conversations, is you ground me, and I appreciate that, because I need that, because I be all over the place. Like I said, Felicia just be like, okay, center. She's like my zen. So I thank you for that. And so Mama Mary, she is my mama out here in Dallas while my mom is in Oklahoma. She actually came, I met you in Deep Ellum when Black Girls of Texas, we just went outside and we just like, we're going to do this margarita walk. I don't even know what it was. Yeah. And we also walking, you and your crew was just so lit up. And I remember y'all in that corner. I said, they are turned over there. I need to know these people. And we took that picture. And you reached out to me. I know it was in April of like 21. And you said, you were like, I'm having this gala, and I want to honor you. And I was like, what? Honor me for what? Because in my mind, I'm a worker. So I'm working. Like, I'm not thinking about the impact. And so when we spoke to each other, I know a little time had passed and you told me to think about it. And so I'm like, okay, let's do it. What is it about? And so we got on the phone. We was on the phone for a long time. a long time. And I said, I like her. She kind of remind me of my mama. But we were on the phone and we talked about, the gala and all the things. And you were like, yeah, I want to honor you for, your community and what you're doing. And you said social and cultural impact. And you didn't even know that was my word that year, was impact. You didn't even know that. And that's how I know it was God. It was God's divine order, because that was my word. I said, if I don't do anything else with my community, with anybody, I just want to make an impact. I want people to see the love of Christ, for one. I want them to feel loved, and then I want to just be impactful. And so when you said that, you wanted to honor me for cultural impact, I said, I'm supposed to be connected to her, to this lady. And so we developed our relationship from there. But what I really appreciate about you is, number one, your consistency, your tenacity, but perseverance. And I say this not in a weird way, but being more seasoned in the drive you have in your season, it drives me. Because me being, my age, and I'm just worried about the stuff I don't need to worry about. And then you, on the other hand, when I talk to you and you're telling me all the things you're doing, and you planning galas, and you got, MJ's Closet, and you out there serving your community, I said, ain't nothing for me to complain about, or there's nothing I cannot do. Because even now with you, you are still doing what God is telling you to do, even in the conversation before this. And so what I admire about you most is your drive. Like your drive to continue to do what you want to do, what God has called you to do, no matter what's going on. And you've had a lot going on with losing your parents, not to tell your business, but that's what really inspired me. Because I have both my parents, and I couldn't imagine. But you still put that gala on like nothing happened. And I said, this lady got to drive, because I wouldn't do it. Shut it all down. Take me out. I'm not doing none of this. We done. But for you to continue to be on your assignment and do what you were supposed to do, you impacted so many people with that first gala. People was like, what is this? What is that? And Tiffany, and she's not here, but I'm going to speak about Tiffany. And she let me borrow a dress, and it was just this big old thing, and everybody was wondering where we was at. And then the next year came, and so many people wanted to support. And even in the midst of all that, they didn't even know what you was going through. Dealing with all of that, and you kept a smile on your face, invited me to your house to eat. That food was good. Okay? We ate good that day. It's just the drive for me, and that makes me realize that no matter what, take your rest, but also make sure you stay the course. Yeah. And that's what I admire about you. You stay the course, because I just couldn't even imagine how you're feeling, even though you smile in front of us and you say you all right, but we know in those hours when you by yourself, we know. And so for you to just mentally be able to still put on a whole gala and a production and all that, and allowing me to host this year. I was an honoree one year, and then when you asked me to host, that right there, you don't even know. I didn't go to school for that, but that's what I wanted to go to school for. Journalism and broadcasting and, hosting and things like that. And so this is annoying because I hate crying. I hate crying, but I feel like it needs to be, it needs to happen. That when people saw that, they was like, oh, I didn't know KMo did that. I don't, but Mama Mary took a chance on me. And I appreciate that about you, because you didn't even know that I love to do stuff like that. I just didn't have those opportunities to do it. And so with me doing that, I done so many other things just off of that, the gala. And I appreciate you for giving me that chance to do that with no credentials. You just know my personality. And so, yeah, that's what I admire about you as well. And so I thought it was very important. I know a lot of times we can write stuff on the internet and we can, say things here and there in passing, but people need to hear how you feel about them. Not after they gone, not when you sending your condolences. They need to hear and they need to see that. And that's also what I'm learning, because accepting love, I'm really telling on myself, was difficult for me from women.
Yeah.
I always had a big guard up.
Absolutely.
It's like I would love you, but I ain't finna kick it with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you know I love you.
Yeah, you know, no emotion. And with being,
You good, but I ain't gonna kick it with you.
yeah. With being like that, and not in a mean way, but just a guarded way. Because if I open up to you, that means that I'm vulnerable. But over the last couple of years, after going through a heartbreak, I'm like, you know, vulnerability is definitely a superpower.
Absolutely.
I have to say how I feel, and that's what I appreciate about Crystal in her absence, my best friend, is that she's so emotional. And I tell her that all the time. And she be like, and so? And you just want to be nonchalant all the time. It's like, it's not that I want to be. It's just I'm relearning how to be. You know, I'm relearning myself. I'm revisiting emotions that I've kept inside. God is placing people in my life who are pulling out these emotions, hence why we're here. But it's also teaching me how to have those healthy friendships, not just one-sided friendships to where you're the only one producing and people are just, you know, reaping. And being, you ladies being in my life, and Tiffany being in my life, and Crystal and Sean in her absence. And Sean is like the muscle. She's like all hard on me all the time. But I need that. You need a balance. Because, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, well, being very timid. But watching all of you has helped me be more bold in my steps, in my voice, in my, you know, what I want and what I won't tolerate. And even this too, just to like sum it up, it definitely has helped with my relationship with my mom. Because I understand her more.
Yeah. As a woman.
Yeah, as a woman. And with a lot of praying and, you know, a lot of like conversations, our conversations are different now. That's the reason why I wanted y'all to come today, because I could have just done this in a little message, and, you know, but I felt it was really important for me to be more intentional. And this is going to catapult into an event I'm doing next year, where our girls in the community, the number one trend, when we look at, you know, analytics, what people are saying, we look at keywords, the number one trend is friendship. I want that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that a lot of them know how to do that, but it starts with you.
Yeah.
And that's what I realized. It starts with you. We have to figure out us and how to be a friend. Because sometimes we don't even know. We might want it for the aesthetics, cute pictures, go to brunch, and that's fine. But for those who want the deeper connection, it definitely starts with you. And so I think that with this activity, with this event that we're going to do, I know, because God placed it on me, it's going to change the trajectory of friendships, not even just in Texas, because we have to start healing and truly doing that, but being vulnerable in that. And so I feel that with me being the leader of this community, it has to start with me. And so with me being vulnerable and even doing this and this video and showing this side of me, I think that it's going to begin a great thing.
You know, I do believe in divine purpose and God's divine timing, you know. And you're talking about friendships, but what you're talking about, I can tell you, it transcends or it crosses over into sisterhood. What do we call sisterhood? You know, what do we call friendship? What does that definition look like? You know, even with our biological sisters, you know, even the relationship that you're talking about with your mom, with the way that a lot of us were raised, you know, in the Black community. It's always, or it has been, do as I say, not as I do, or don't question me. But what I found in this season of my life, especially with my mom passing and going through that transitional period, is that, you know, while I knew I loved her and I knew who she was, I didn't know her at all. And to be 48 and to find out I didn't even know her, you know, but I knew her. And the difference is that my mom was a very spiritual woman. She was a missionary, evangelist. She was a pastor's wife. And she was a wonderful woman and made a great impact. And she was a great mom. So I knew her as a mom. I got to see her a little bit as a wife. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know Mary. You know, my mom's name is Mary too. I didn't know Mary, you know. And if I had known Mary, some of the decisions that I made in my life, I wouldn't have made, you know. And so I find that when it comes to, number one, with my daughter and with my friends, I find that things that, you know, we're so used to saying, you don't want everybody to know your business, this, that, and the other. I'm finding now in this stage of my life that there is a certain level of accountability and responsibility that comes with transparency.
Thank you for that.
Can I just share with you what I see?
Sure.
So, when you were speaking about like yourself and your emotions and how your connections with women and how Crystal was, you know, so emotional and you weren't so emotional, I saw you. It was almost like it was you standing there, and you and yourself, and then you're going through a lot of things and pain and thoughts going through your mind, and you know, can I do this? Am I this? Can I do that? All that, and you were kind of floating above it. And I think the direction that God is taking you is for you not to float above all of the questions and the doubt. He's causing you to now work through it and work through some of that stuff because he's trying to get it out of you. You can't, if you float above it, there's no way you can address it to kind of get rid of it. He's causing you to kind of not to sit and to rest in it, but to get in it, to go through it, to get it out of you. And the reason why I connected with you, we connected through somebody who, for all intents and purposes, I'm no longer connected to. And I felt the same way about women. And what happened to that connection hurt me because I took a risk. Because for so long, I just didn't deal with chicks. I always hung out with the dudes. They were easier to deal with. Like, you know, I didn't have to deal with the emotions and, you know, the menstrual cycles and all of that, and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I had to deal with all of that. And the couple of women friends that I had, they're like, you know I love you. Like, you know I love you. I don't got to tell you that. Like, I'm not doing all that. And so with this connection, I thought it was going to be one thing. And I don't know if I put all my eggs in that basket, but I met you through that connection. And I didn't, you know, hindsight being what it is, I saw God's plan now, right? That wasn't supposed to be a lifelong thing. It was almost like a bridge to get me to where I was supposed to be. And so with you, KMo, what I love about you so much is that although you may not feel like it all the time, you are absolutely who you are. And you are unapologetic about it. And there are parts of you that rub off on me. Like, there are times I'll call you and I'm like, you know, what do you think about this? You're like, girl, no, don't you do this, and da-da-da-da, and da-da-da, and you do this. And I'm like, first of all, who's a big sister? Right now.
Yeah.
But I needed that because there's parts of me that kind of shrink back still. But she's tenacious about her worth. She's tenacious, but like, no, this is what you're worth. This is what you should be getting. Don't settle for anything less. Don't let people walk over you. Don't. And I'm like, okay. And the things that I see you do cause me to step out. Like, I came up with the MC to make a pivot, you know, and then from that it just branched off into so many different things. That's where the bookings came, and people want me to host a gala, and I'm like, I ain't nobody. And then people see you on the street and want to talk to them. I'm like, I ain't nobody, dude. Are you sure you got the right person? But all that started with KMo. All that started with you, boo.
Girl.
It was the talks. It was the conversations that we had. It was we don't do the mean girl thing. That's how we connected. We're not playing the cool kids in school. We love everybody. And the one thing that I thank God for is that He allows me to see things in people that they don't see in themselves. And I see so much in you. That's why I tell you that all the time. That's why, like, if we go out and people, they may know me. I'm like, oh, have you met KMo? She has the largest network of black women in Texas. She has literally brought all the black girls in Texas together. The name of her organization is Black Girls in Texas. And I put it out there because, to me, that's what it is. That's what I see. And she is a connector of people. She's a connector of hearts. And I think that through this, that there's going to be a deep healing with you. And I think that healing is what's going to be connected to the next level that God has for you. It's going to be amazing.
I said I had to be obedient to this.
Absolutely.
Because even when I talked to Fred, he not really here, he behind the camera. But when we had a conversation last week, and I told him, I said, I almost backed out. I didn't want to do this because I didn't want to put myself out there, basically. I don't want people to see, I don't want to cry, I don't want people to see me. And I said, no, but I need to do this because there's so many times, and I'm pretty sure I missed so many things because I was being disobedient. And so I said, because of self, I'm like, I'm not doing that because I don't want to feel like this, and I'm not. And I said, no, this is the time now. If he's telling me to do it now, I have to do this now. Because what better time than now? What, am I going to wait on it again? Like, I'm not going to do that. And so, with the trends, like I said, I see, and me just wanting to, be that, I need to show it first. I need to be the example. And so, I'm very grateful that y'all took my ask in a random text on a Sunday afternoon to come here. And I appreciate Fred because he really just spoke into me nah, KMo, his Philly voice, nah, you really gotta do this because nah, don't back out, you got a lot going, you rocking with this and that, and so I was like, okay, yeah, we gonna keep doing it, we gonna do it. And so just not letting the enemy talk me out of anything anymore, and just doing what God told me to do.
Yes. Well, I just want to share, you talked about friendship and, that was your purpose in doing all of this. Well, I once heard a quote that said, a girlfriend is someone who helps you to remember your melody. And so I just want to let you know that we got you. I'm just like the Indy. I see so much greatness in you. That is definitely, people. So when you cried about it, I'm like, okay, Lord, can she stop crying? We got to be great up here.
Yeah.
We see so much greatness in you. We got you. And all of what you share about what you see or what you get from all of us, just hold that right here, right? Yeah. Take your break. Take care of yourself. Yeah. Persevere. The consistency. We got you. Highs, lows, ups and downs. That's what friends are for. I know we out front, right? And you got these networks and these people watching and all of that, but we're here for behind the scenes. And if anything, I think a good takeaway from this conversation is that's what conversations with your friends should be like, right? If they need to be able to pick you up, you need to be able to be transparent. I love when you said vulnerability is a superpower, because it really is. People need to have places to land, to share what's really on their heart. And so we always here for you, KMo.
I appreciate this. Absolutely. I couldn't think of anybody else. Y'all are my circle of people. And I just appreciate y'all. And we rocking.
It's up.
Where I go, y'all go.
That's it.
So I'm excited.
The thing is when you know that when you accomplish something or you have met your goal, you can pick up the phone and call somebody and they gonna celebrate with you for real. For real. It ain't gonna be like, oh, okay, that's cute. Let me call you back. And then they get on the phone and call. I'm so sick of her calling me, telling me about everything she's doing. You know, always bragging. But it's nice to know when you have people that you can call and just be giddy with. Because sometimes we all still have a little girl in us. We all still have that little girl in us, and that's looking for mom and dad to say, I'm proud of you. Good job, baby. You know what I'm saying? But as women, you know, and as we progress and go through different stages in life, mommy and daddy might not be there no more. But we still got that little girl in us that's looking for that. And I know for me, in this season of my life where I've lost both of my parents within 5 months of each other. And they were very supportive. And the littlest thing that I would accomplish, if I said, Mama, I went out and fed 50 homeless people today, I call her and I tell her, oh, baby, look at God. Oh, that's so wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, when I got to invite a judge to my event, or, the mayor called me and I got to call my dad and tell him about it. And he'd be like, oh, baby, I'm so proud of you. I don't have that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So when that good news come through, for a minute I was sitting there looking at the phone, and that was traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so glad that I had my best friend of 35 years that I could call. When I couldn't call. Come on. My mama no more. You know? And she said, oh, I'm so proud of you, friend. We need that. We need that. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 sisters, 3 biological sisters. And sometimes when you deal with death, some families don't make it. You know? We didn't make it. You know? And right now I'm estranged from 2 of my sisters, and that's hard. That's hard. But I was telling my daughter, she's 17, and she called me. She's off on a retreat with her friends, and they had a little friend tough, and she wanted to call me and tell me about it. And I told her, I said, you put me on speakerphone so everybody can hear me. And I just told her, I said, look here, when this world get hard, all y'all gonna have is each other. That's all you're going to have. There's going to be a day, Pharaoh, when I'm not going to be there to answer the phone. And you're going to need to call your friend. And you're going to need your friend. And so I feel like for me in this season of my life, as I look back over my friendships and things, that I've been through, I feel like for me it's, like I said, my responsibility and my accountability to teach young girls the value of friendship. Because they don't know. All they're looking at is TikTok videos and Instagram posts, and everybody hating on each other. Everybody hating on each other. You know what I'm saying? But we need to get to a point where we can teach our young black girls to love each other. Because out of any gender that you want to identify with, any race that you want to be called, we got it the hardest. I don't care what nobody say. We got it the hardest. We got to be the mama, we got to be the daddy, we got to be the friend, we got to be the provider, we got to be the spiritual counselor, we got to be the entrepreneur, we got to be the housekeeper, we got to be the doctor, the nurse, we got to do all that, and we still got to put the 36-inch weave in our hair and the long fingernails, and we got to wear the stilettos and the heels, and we got to look damn good doing it while we carrying 3 mountains on our back. We need somebody.
We literally cannot afford to not love one another.
We can't afford to not love each other. And so I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. Wherever this video takes us, keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because when it hits social media, it's out there. And you have made an imprint. And what you're doing is making an imprint, not just in Texas, but amongst black women as a whole. Because everybody that's a part of Black Girls in Texas is not going to stay in Texas. They might move to Arizona. They might move to California. But they might have been impacted by what you started here. And that might bless them to take what you're doing somewhere else. You might look up and find a black girl in Arizona somewhere. Or black girls in California. Well, how you come up with that idea? I used to live in Texas, and this girl in Texas started the Black Girls in Texas. You know, there is no limit when you follow the unctioning that God has given you, and you are obedient. There is no limit to where you're going, and there's no limit to the lives that you can touch.
Thank you. I love y'all. I appreciate this conversation. I'm hoping we can have another one of these. I have to get y'all on the podcast.
Absolutely.
For sure. But so this is my version of the video version of Cultivating Healthy Friendships, and I look forward to seeing everybody at the event. Peace.
Listen,
Let's stop playing. Let's
this
get
is
it.
a story.
You from Jersey? What part of Jersey?
The shore.
Okay.
So Jersey Shore.
Okay. You snuck in Jersey Shore or?
No, they from Long Island.
Okay.
I'm from the shore.
I just gotta ask. Make sure you ain't fist pumping.
No,